decorated with thousands of lights, but one Idaho Falls family has decorated their home for a much different reason.
Ty Brennan talked to that family and has this story tonight.
For anyone passing by this house on 20th Street in Idaho Falls, it may look like any other house festively decorated for the holidays, but it's the story behind each twinkling light that sets this house apart.
You know, I couldn't think of a better way to, honor his memory than to do that.
Derek Bailey is talking about his grandfather, who died earlier this year. Each year, his grandpa would outfit his home with close to 60,000 lights, and now, after his passing, their family is continuing his tradition.
I don't ever remember it not being there.
These photos taken in 1986 show the beginning of what the house would eventually become, drawing visitors from all over the county to see Mr. Bailey's Christmas display.
And, it was something that was a topic of conversation throughout the year. He would talk about his ideas and things he was planning and things he was working on. And, a bunch of these things were things that he had put together himself.
For the past 2 years, Bailey was too sick to put up his famed Christmas lights, and the house remained dark.
He would look out the window, and sadly kind of look out and say, "It's dark out there, it's so dark."
But tonight, the lights are once again shining on the Bailey residence.
I think he'd be happy knowing that we all got together to do it. I think that would make him really proud because he did love to have all of the family around and everyone together.
So if you happen to drive past the Bailey's home on 20th Street, know that these lights are not just decoration, but rather serve as a monument to a man who loved Christmas and the smiles his Christmas lights brought. In Idaho Falls, Ty Brennan, NBC News Channel 6.
And like Ty said, Mr. Bailey used close to 60,000 lights in his display. The family says this year they used a little less than half that number, but they say they'll continue this tradition for years to come.